Today we're going to listen and read The Hobbit on my 1978 Fisher-Price record player. Enjoy.
This is the story of The Hobbit. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. As everyone knows, hobbits are small, quiet folk who live small, quiet lives in snug underground homes. They never ever visit the world outside, nor do they ever seek adventure. But this is the story of a special hobbit who did once have an adventure, and an exciting one it was. His name was Bilbo Baggins. One fine Wednesday morning, who should appear at Bilbo's door but 13 dwarves and Gandalf the Wandering Wizard.
Mr. Baggins, I have an adventure in mind for you.
Bilbo blinked twice in astonishment.
Surely you don't want me? I'm only a simple hobbit.
Actually, it's my 13 friends who want you. They have need of a clever burglar, and I've told them you would be excellent for the job. This is Thorin, their leader.
A richly dressed dwarf stepped forward and bowed.
Let us go inside and refresh ourselves, and I will explain. Far to the east lies Lonely Mountain.
Thorin began while Bilbo set out the goblets.
Long ago, our people lived there in harmony, digging gold and jewels and making beautiful treasures. But the day came when Smaug, the fire-breathing dragon, drove us away and stole our home and treasures. He lives there still.
Thorin turned to Bilbo.
Gandalf says you are a fine burglar and will be useful in getting our treasure back from Smaug.
When Bilbo heard this, he fainted away. Thorin frowned.
A brave burglar you've found us, wizard.
Don't worry, Thorin. Mr. Baggins will prove himself very useful before your journey is over.
Early the next morning, Gandalf, Bilbo, and the dwarves set out on the winding road to the east. Bilbo was grumbling.
I really don't know why I'm here. I wish I were back in my hobbit hole beside my warm fire.
Gandalf chuckled.
Come, Bilbo. This will be a great adventure, one you'll not soon forget.
After many days' travel, the adventurers began winding their way up into the mountains. Suddenly, as they struggled up a narrow path, a terrible thunderstorm burst upon them.
This way, quickly!
Shouted Thorin.
A dry cave!
Wet and tired, they all crowded inside. Soon a warm fire was burning, and in no time at all, everyone was fast asleep. Late that night, Bilbo was awakened by a strange scraping sound. He stared in disbelief as the stone wall slowly opened. Out of the darkness leaped huge, ugly goblins. In a twinkling, the adventurers were captured. As they stumbled down a dark tunnel, Bilbo looked desperately for Gandalf, but he was not to be found. Bilbo and the dwarves found themselves in a large cavern deep in the mountain. Before them, on a throne, sat the great goblin himself.
Who are these miserable persons?
He scowled. Thorin stepped forward.
We are only traveling dwarves looking for dry shelter. We did not mean to trespass.
Liar!
Boomed the great goblin, and he lunged at Thorin. Just at that moment, the cavern went dark. Then, dazzling white sparks exploded. The goblins fell back, blinded.
It's Gandalf!
Cried Bilbo.
His magic has saved us.
Gandalf called to his friend.
Follow me, quickly. We must get out of the mountain.
They all rushed through the dark, twisting tunnels, running faster and faster. And no matter how fast Bilbo ran, the others ran faster. His short hobbit legs couldn't keep up. Soon, he was lost. For hours, Bilbo wandered through the endless dark tunnels, until at last he came to an underground lake. On the shore, something glittered.
A gold ring. This will make a nice souvenir to show back home. If I ever do get back home.
Bilbo put the ring in his pocket. But this was no ordinary ring. It was magic. Whoever placed it on his finger would become quite invisible. The ring belonged to a slimy creature named Gollum, who lived on a rock in the middle of the lake. Gollum liked to slip the ring on his finger, sneak up on people, and gobble them up. That's the kind of fellow Gollum was. Gollum had just spied Bilbo. He slipped into the water and swam ashore.
It looks tasty, it does.
He hissed as he approached the hobbit.
Stay back,
warned Bilbo, gripping his sword.
I am Bilbo Baggins, and I am lost. Can you show me the way out of this mountain?
Gollum squinted his large, lamp-like eyes.
Perhaps we can make a deal. We'll have a riddle game. If you win, I show you the way out. If I win, I gobble you up.
It wasn't much of a deal, but Bilbo agreed. They traded riddles for some time. Finally, Bilbo won. But Gollum was a poor sport and decided to eat Bilbo anyway. Gollum swam off to get his ring so he could sneak up on Bilbo. But of course, he couldn't find it.
It's gone!
He howled and dashed back to find the hobbit. But Bilbo had accidentally slipped the ring on his finger and vanished.
Curse him and crush him!
Moaned Gollum.
He's gone too!
He didn't realize he was looking right through the little hobbit.